So I was inspired just to take a couple minutes to talk to you. Talk to you about your greatest commodity in life. Some people think it's money, some people think it's other things, but really your biggest commodity is time. Since the moment that you were born, you had a limited amount of time. Most people say that since the minute you're born, you're already dying. And who knows how much time that is? Whether it's 20, 30, 50 years, 10 years, 5 years, whatever that is. But the most important thing is to recognize that you create your destiny. You create what you truly want out of life. And then you have to think about in that time. So when you're born, for example, you have the date that you're born, and when you die, you have the date in your tombstone that you passed away. But that in between is what's so powerful. It's the legacy that you leave behind. Is the impact that you have on other people, the seeds that you planted for change. And many people can go through a whole lifespan and die and never be remembered. Why? Because they never followed their purpose. They never followed their dream. So ask yourself, are you living to die, or are you dying to live? I read a statistic that about 85% of people hate their jobs. So if that's true, that means that 85% of people are going to work just to do their time. It's almost like they're stuck in their own prison. And you might say, well, what can I do about that? I have to work, I have to pay the bills. But the thing is that if you live a life of purpose, you never actually work. And the most beautiful and the most important day of your life is when you recognize why you were born. You see, I was blessed and also cursed to have experienced death at an early age of people that were very, very close to me. And those deaths changed my perspective, changed my life view. It made me realize how vulnerable life truly is. It made me think that I didn't want to take it for granted, that I actually wanted to do certain things, that I was wasting time, that I wanted to make an impact. I wanted to leave a legacy. I want to make a difference in people's lives, so when I'm gone, I'm remembered as some way, or at least the seeds that I planted keep growing in other people's lives, and my spirit of who I am lives in those seeds that I planted. And some people say, well, I'm just not motivated. Don't find the motivation to actually take the steps. But the problem with motivation is that it doesn't work. And not that it doesn't work, is that people don't understand what motivation really is. You see, our brain is designed to protect you. And part of that protection is keeping you away from things that might feel uncomfortable, that might not feel right, that's part of your box. So people get stuck in this box of pain, of comfortable pain. And they don't ever seek to follow their purpose, follow their meaning, because they're too comfortable in their own pain. Why? Because every time that they push towards something that is unknown, their brain blocks them. The brain tells you, don't do it, because it doesn't want to experience potential pain. It's used to this pain, but it doesn't know the unknown of the pain that might happen if you actually take that next step and do those things that will move you forward. The only problem is that you can stay in that state of mind, and you can never actually take that step to fulfill your dreams and fulfill your purpose. So I'll give you a couple pointers in a minute, but it all comes down to having your why, having a reason why you do the things that you do, discovering and aligning yourself with your purpose of your life. You see, because when you have a big enough reason why, you're willing to wake up early, you're willing to stay up late, you're willing to spend those 15, 20 minutes whenever you can to align yourself with those things that you want to accomplish. And if you read your why and it doesn't make you cry, then it's not a big enough reason why. It should be a why that moves you at your core, a why that opens your eyes, your brain, your soul to a different reality. So motivation is having a big enough motive to do something, and that is having that big enough reason why. And what I found is that the most powerful thing you could do to move towards purpose, to move towards your why, is have goals. Have set things that you want to do. I'm constantly writing down my goals. When I get ideas, I write them down of steps that I can take. Even if you write down 2 goals per day that you're gonna do, that you're committing to, those 2 goals are getting you closer to where you wanna be, to that legacy that you wanna create, the impact that you wanna make in the time that you have here. Because time, again, is precious. And you came here for a purpose. You came here to impact the people that are waiting for you to step into that state where you can plant the seeds within them. So ask yourself, are you willing to commit to that? Are you willing to write down some goals and actually go towards it? No matter how comfortable, uncomfortable it feels, no matter how many times your brain tells you not to do it, where it tells you don't do it because of this, or gives you an excuse to procrastinate, or makes you look at the next thing like squirrel, where you can actually say, regardless of what happens, this is what I'm committing to. And it doesn't have to be this major goal that you're committing to every day. Because remember, it's the small steps that build momentum. It's the small steps that are gonna make you wake up, like it happened to me 10 years later, blinking, looking back, not believing where I was at, not believing my reality. It's like, how did I get there when it was impossible? You see, because everything is possible if you're willing to believe. And also, make it real. One of the most powerful tools that I've ever used was visualization. Everything I've ever wanted to, when it was so unreal to me, I saw it. I would sit down and visualize it and see it until it became so real that my being, my brain, didn't want anything different and didn't set the obstacles, because my brain was looking for ways to make it happen, because it was saying, well, if this is so real, if this is supposed to be what life is, then why isn't it happening? What can I do to make it happen? Because the thing is that the brain is a tool, and it's all about learning how to use that tool to your benefit. So again, ask yourself, are you living to die, or are you dying to live? And what I mean again is, are you dying to make that impact? Are you dying to experience those things that will create joy within you and joy with people that are around you, that will transform your life and the life of others? Dying in the sense that you're willing to commit, willing to do whatever it takes to get out of the prison that a lot of people put themselves in. Because at the end of the day, I know my purpose, and my purpose is to remind you that you have a choice. That if you're in a bad relationship, that is a choice. That if you have a bad job, that is a choice. You can make a different choice. And with that choice, no matter how small it is, the choices that you make every day, with that choice, you can create whatever reality you want. Again, wishing you much success. Start making those choices that will transform your life. Thank you.